Hey YouTube, I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker, and I'm also a professional tarot consultant, the editor and publisher of the Cartomancer magazine. We're dedicated to divination. It's a print magazine, so I hope you grab a copy. Just go to thecartomancer.com, or you can also buy back issues or single print issues and also get a digital subscription. Now, I'm trying a little experiment. Normally when I do these live flip throughs, I put all these notices everywhere, but I thought I'd just see who's paying attention. So I'm doing the Ostara Tarot. I'm pulling y'all up now because I see some of you have already found me. I don't hide very well in the international game of hide and seek. So let's take a look at, let me get the chat open first. I don't hide very well in the international. Okay. So we're looking at the Ostara Tarot. First off, nice box, boom, boom, right? Nice. I love that big Ostara and then, whoops, tarot on that side. You know, it's something you can put on your shelf and have it be however you like. Red is a nice choice for the color of ribbon with this deck. Another Schiffer magnetic. Okay, inside. And now here's what's really unusual. Often you have an artist and an author. Two people on a deck. In this deck, we have four people. They all met in art school and discovered they all love the occult. So they decided to do a tarot deck. This is Molly Applejohn, Eden Cook, Krista Gibbard, and Julia Iredale. Or I guess Iredale. I'm trying to say Airedale. And it's really beautiful that they all work together. And it talks about they still work together. And I think it's very, very cool. So let's look at the book. The book is very nice. It's thick. It's got a lot going on. It's got full color images, babies. Full color images. And really nice graphic touches, right? Those little bitty things are really cool. It says the vernal equinox, Ostara, wakes the city after winter. Nicely put, ladies. Nicely put. It says it includes traditional symbolism with contemporary themes, teaching core lessons and diverse messages. And another thing I really like is watching the corner up here. You see how it changes right up here? So you know what section you're in. You can do a quick flippity, 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 where am I? And get to where you need to be pretty fast. Nice touch. Now, I'm looking in the back. And they have the suits in a different order. And y'all know how I am about that. But each artist gets her own page. And it's just little bits. I like little snippets. And I love this on the back page. That's just on the very back page. Now, there's no, that I see, you know, suggested spreads or anything like that. That's kind of an extra. US Games does it a lot, and it's one of the things I really enjoy because I'm a spread whore, so I love them. Now, there's the very opening of the book. Notice that this is under Schiffer's new imprint, Red Feather. I believe that's what they're going with for their Body, Mind, and Spirit line. I love it. Might get a little confusing with Red Wheel, but wheels and feathers are pretty different, right? So now let's talk about the deck. If you watched my main Taroscope video, you learned that I had a few problems with this deck. The first one was this gorgeous coating, right? It's beautiful. But y'all, it was so sticky. Now look at it. It's very, very slick. I'm still getting a little bit of, if I do this, I'm still getting a little bit of glitter. It's the deck that won't quit blinging. But the backs, very nice backs. There is that color drawing of that black and white piece we saw at the end. fully reversible. Now, let's talk about this deck. When I was reading with it, there were some difficulties for me. Okay, there were some, what is this card? And I had to stop and look and count and see. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. First, we're going to look at the major arcana. This is going to be a complete flip through. You're going to see all 78 cards. Here's the Fool. Now, she's a nice fool. She's, definitely embarking on a crazy journey towards the sun, right? Again, like with the Shakespearean, there's no backpack. There's no little creature holding her back. And for me, this could be the Eight of Wands, right? It's got that, it's got a wand feeling for me. But this is how they present their Fool. And she's got some fun stuff about her. She's got a very young face. She hasn't tied her shoes. I mean, there's some touches in here that are very fun. This is a very whimsical deck. The High Priestess is possibly my favorite card in the entire deck, and one of my favorite High Priestesses that I've ever seen. Do you notice her head? I don't know what animal it is, whether it's a fly or some creature, but it's insect eyes. She's got a pomegranate, nice touch. I like these. I really love this, even though it doesn't have the traditional pillars behind her. I don't mind decks that go off book, right? I don't mind decks that bring their own interpretation of the tarot. That's why we have a lot of decks. Otherwise, we'd have the same deck across the board. The Magician kind of fond of the snails on his head. Eyes on his hands. There's a little boat. Now, one thing I don't see here are the tools. I don't immediately see all the tools. Let me look and see. Oh, a case could be made that they show up, but not really. I see cups definitely and some water stuff. So, some of my traditional stuff is getting smacked in the face. Okay. The Empress. Birds in her hair. Kind of makes me think of the Secrets of the Mystic Grove Oracle deck I worked on with all the things in their hair. Right? Now that looks like a garlic plant in her hands. That's nice. She's not obviously pregnant. That's okay. The Emperor is fine. What is it they say about tattooed and... So, and I love the horns in his head. That picks up the Ram, the Aries energy of the Emperor for me. So that's nice. Hierophant. This is really a nice piece. That hand open. And the book is the person, actually, if you see that. The Lovers. Interesting that they both have their eyes closed in this card, right? That's for me is an interesting touch. The Chariot has no chariot, but he has the two chess pieces facing either way. And for me, that's a really, really interesting thing. Something else they do in this, it's a little weird for me because I like some order, is here and here. They don't put all the majors at one or the other. And it's just kind of an easy tradition, right? All the suits are at the bottom, and then the majors are at the top, or vice versa. Here is Strength. And they do reverse Strength and Justice in this, so Strength is the 8th card here. Here's the Hermit. Pretty traditional Hermit there. And I love the bats up in the corner. I don't know if y'all can see that detail up there, where the blue line is over here. Wheel of Fortune. When I look at these, I kind of think I can tell which artist did which, because this looks very much like the Hierophant to me. Kind of a cubist approach. And I also get the three fates, right? The threads going through the hands. Here is Justice. Now she looks like a blend to me of Isis and Ma'at. I'm not familiar with Ma'at having the wings, but I'm not super familiar with the Egyptian pantheon. The Hanged Man. And something nice, look at the circles on the tree. Maybe. There we go. Death is an interesting one. Again, to me, Death looks like the same person who did the Hierophant and Strength. Not Strength, Wheel of Fortune. This card reminds me very much of the Stephanie Law deck, the Shadowscapes. I'll just hold it way back here so you can get that swoopy feeling, right? That's a classic style of hers. But when you look close, it's absolutely not a ripoff. Look at all the animals running up in there in Temperance and coming down into this. So she's channeling that energy and changing it. And this is, for me, a fairly diverse deck. You know, not to mention that some of the characters are not even human. And here is, of course, the Devil. And look at his hermit lamp. I know y'all are chatting and I'm actually not looking, so I apologize. If I can, I'll do just a couple of readings at the end. I kind of toyed with not doing them because this deck is difficult for me to read right now. I need to work with it a lot more. The Tower, classic Tower. The Star, not classic. Right? Instead of looking up and being between the firmament and the water, she's diving after the star. So that's a different star for me. The Moon, also very different. I don't see the wild dog and the tame dog. The Sun. So definitely dark skin here. The hair is not traditional, but you know, still we see some ethnicity in this. And Judgment. Thank you for Judgment. I'm so happy to see other than white, white, white in these decks. And the World. The World's very nice. It's very traditional. Kind of interesting they show the polar caps blowing off, but you know. Now let's take a look at the suits, shall we? Let me take a look real quick at y'all in chat and see if you have any questions for me. Yeah, Cameron said that they wish the magician had his tools. I do too, Cameron. Really do. We're going to go through these a little faster. I'm a little concerned about the Ace of Swords in a skeleton. I love the Stellar J here for the Two of Swords. Three of Swords is a really nice reinterpretation of that. And I find the Ivy very telling about letting things creep up and grow over. Four of Swords. I'm sorry, the bunny does not look like it's resting. The bunny looks like it is dead. Five of Swords, I really like the snake weaving through it. Because it talks about, for me, the Five of Swords is a competition and a strife card, right? So if you have five swords and there's a snake slithering through, and head shape, it might be a viper. But what else are you picking up when you pick up something in anger, right? If there's a snake that you're not looking at because you're so mad, you get wounded too. So it's a nice thing to put into a card to make you think as a reader. Now, everybody out there who's read with the Wildwood Tarot, does this card look like a card you've seen? It is a nice Six of Swords moving away from troubled times, but this image, I almost went and grabbed my Wildwood Tarot to make sure I wasn't mistaken. I didn't. A door. The raccoon is the sneaky bastard Seven of Swords. Not sure about the Eight of Swords being a hooded falcon with no hand in the glove. I got this in the Tarot Scopes this week, and I talked a little bit about it. But it's still the Nine of Swords, defending your position. A beautiful, beautiful Black Panther or Jaguar. The 10, I believe all the 10s are whales. We'll check that as we go through. The Page of Swords, again, some diversity with the Fennec Fox down there. The Knight. The Queen is beautiful. I believe that whoever did the High Priestess must have done the Queen as well. And the King of Swords just slays me. Pun intended. I just really love the energy of this card. So when I tell you it's a mixed bag for me, it really is. There's some cards that I'm like, and there's some cards that I'm like, oh my God, these are beautiful. So the one of, I don't know why I've got cups here. Sorry, y'all. These are out of order. Hang on. Cups should not be next. Nope, nope, nope. This is a big old nope. Nope, nope. Okay, let me get the wands up so we can get in the right order. Oh, good gravy. Hang on, y'all. Okay. There. Now we're in the right order. See how freaky I am? I'm a little OCD about some of these things. Wands. Definitely fire. Notice the mouse. The mouse was on the Ace of Wands. I'm beginning to see that there's a theme in terms of each of the number cards has a similar thing. This Two of Wands, just, I don't get it. I don't get it. She's looking, or he's looking at a bird, and he or she is in a cage. They're in a cage. Don't get it. Really like this Three of Wands. The little leopard frog here is holding the ships that they're waiting for. So some of it has some iconic reach backs to the Rider-Waite system. This is the Four of Wands. Do not get. Do not get. I mean, the Five of Wands. Now, if you're familiar with the rhyme about coral snakes, this is actually not a coral snake. I think it's meant to be, though. But it's red and black is good for Jack. Red and yellow can kill a fellow. And it's a way to easily and quickly identify if you're looking at a coral snake, which is truly one of the deadliest snakes in North America. Or if you're looking at a corn or a milk snake, which are not deadly and should not be killed. Don't kill the coral snake either if you can help it. But if it's in a populated place, unfortunately, if somebody can't come relocate it, then it must go for the safety of people because it will kill you. But again, does that say Five of Wands to you? Six of Wands. I actually, when I read this in this week's Taroscopes, I thought it was a cup card because of all the fish, and I had to re-look at it. You know, and Six of Wands is victory. It's a goal gained. So I guess if she wanted to be a fish, she's gained her goal. The Seven of Wands doesn't really speak to me. I don't really get it. Eight of Wands, okay, it's action, it's flight, it's fast. While this is a gorgeous freaking card, I don't get fast from it. I don't get activity. I don't get go, go, go. The Nine of Wands. Again, these are beautiful cards, but they're missing things for me. The 10 is definitely another whale. You know, and the 10 of Wands is taking on too much, falling down, being overwhelmed. I guess a joke could be made that it's overwhelmed. The Page, very fond of the little fox here. I can see that as a Page of Wands easily. The Knight on a bear. Not fond of the piece on the bear's face because it looks like a muzzle to me. That's me. And here, I love the Queen. I adore this Queen. She's colorful. She's bright. I almost get a feeling of Oz from it, which is a good thing for me. Oh, and you'll see a lot of these eye things. I think that's one of the artists in particular. And then the King is a stag. So some pretty cool things in here. We'll get to the next two. Was that an eagle? I think it was not an eagle. I think it was a hawk of some type. Now let's go to cups. The Ace of Cups. People with mouse heads. We have that mouse again. I'm thrown because there are two people in it. But the Two of Cups is lovely. Look how sweet that is. Right? Very, very tender, very, very loving. The Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups, I am not getting party, joy, have a good time, celebration. And that's what I want my Three of Cups to be. It's a seek joy card. And this feels a little... You see this is a face? And there are the cups. That doesn't feel like an up happy card to me. And maybe it's not in their interpretation. I have not looked at the book. So there may be a lot going on with their interpretation as opposed to my traditional stuff. So if you want a deck that you don't need to be traditional with, this may be a great deck for you. Four of Cups goes back to the traditional. Three Cups, refusing a fourth. The Five of Cups, once again, snakes. So there is a theme in here. That, you know, I'm seeing snakes in all the fives, bunnies in all the fours, mice in all the ones. So there is a theme there. Here's a six, and it's a whale again. I don't remember sixes being in the other ones as whales, but... And this is a childhood card, so they've got children in here. Really like this Seven of Cups. Party too much, you know, overindulge, dreaming of what you can and can't have. Now here is an interesting 8. It's again the wings, the eagle or the bird, and it's a dove to me. It looks like a dove. But I'm not sure about the wings. I'm not sure what the mix is, and that it has legs. And again, I don't know if this might be Prometheus. That's the thing I thought of, because the cups are filled with fire, and Prometheus stole fire, and then he was chained up. So that could be the 8 of Cups going on there. We'll take a look later and see. The 9 of Cups. The cats, the cats, the cats. But the 9 of Cups to me is a wish card. And I love cats. I've got many of them, but we don't really sit around and wish for a house full of cats, right? And now here's a 10 of Cups. And I am not... Oh, I guess that is a whale in the back here. That is a whale. Of course, I love it. It's got the octopus. I'm huge on octopus or octopi. I love them. The Page of Cups. Y'all, when I pulled this, when I was doing readings, I had to stop and do this. Like, what the heck page is this? And if you look very closely on his collar, he's got cups. And up here, I didn't even notice that before. There are little cups up there, too. This night, as I was separating the deck out after reading with it and putting it back in order, I had to set him aside until I figured out which suit had no knight. The only thing that's cups about this is, I mean, a boat and a harpoon. And then the Queen of Cups is really pretty. King of Cups, y'all. Did not know. Had to put him out. I thought he was a fire king because of the candles. It's a beautiful card. I mean, my God, it's gorgeous. But I don't get cups from it. Now, the coins. One of the sweetest little ace of coins I've ever seen. Little mouse again. Beautiful colors. And color-wise, this deck is very different, right? Because there are 4 artists, so we're seeing 4 different interpretations of palette. So you can definitely tell different styles. Typically, I'm not a fan of compilation, like the 78 Nautical, the 78 Pink. A lot of people love those decks because you get a lot of different artists in them. I haven't even tried them because I'm so visual. I need a continuity. The 2 of Coins, nice job on the juggling. The 3 of Coins. She doesn't look like she's working on a project. She looks like she's worried to me. It's almost as if they've misinterpreted or reinterpreted, reinterpreted the meaning of the 3s. The 4 of Pentacles showed up a lot in this week's Taroscopes. And then we have the 5. Again, some diversity going on here. And the Snake. All right, and pretty typical. She's outside. Look at the snake in the window, too, and the glass work. 6 of Coins. Is that the 6? Yeah. Card of generosity and sharing. 7 of Coins. Again, the raccoon. That's the card of the gardener, the card of waiting after hard work for something to come to be. 8 of Coins. Okay, I get that. An owl working on stuff, an owl being creative. And a beautiful owl, beautifully, beautifully colored. The 9. Again, the cat, the feline for the 9s. And the woman in her garden. A nice interpretation. 10 of Coins. So we have the Cephalopod again. The Cephalopod. We've got a doesn't look like an octopus, looks like a squid to me. But that's the 10. Is there any kind of a whale in here? I'd have to really push to make that a whale. Another page that I didn't know where she belonged. I do like that we have mix and match on page gender, and I think we did on knights too. And here's the knight. Here's the queen. She's really lovely and instantly recognizable to me as the Queen of Coins. The color, the wheat, the goats, all of it. She's got a child in her arm, but it's not showing. And then the King of Coins, again, we've got the stag. So it's a mixed bag for me. I can't go online and say, get this deck, it's wonderful. I'm going to say, definitely look at more videos about this deck, read more articles about this deck, sit with yourself and see if it's a deck you need. It's very pagan feeling to me. It's very earth connected. I wanted to look at the threes and see if they've reinterpreted the threes. Hang on. Oh, that's odd. This is wands, but it has the whale. Oh, the whale is for all of them. Okay, it's a whale of swords. 10 of swords. Here's cups. 3 of cups. It says 3 women soaked together amongst the frogs. The 3 of cups is a card of friendship and support. Spend time with those around you who keep you afloat. Okay, so they didn't reinterpret it. It is a joy card. I just don't pick up joy from it. The color, the submersion, a couple of things. Now, let's look in here and see. Yeah, Kelly Morgan said sea creatures on the 10s instead of whales. Ann White asked me what my favorite deck is. It's always the Gaian Tarot. It's my primary reading deck. It's always right within reach. So, and out of respect for looking at a different deck, I won't pull it out. But let's try this. Let's try this as a reading. Do I have any moderators in here? No. Cameron, do you mind being my moderator? Cameron has been in here quite a bit, and so they would be a good moderator. Well, that's what I thought, Kelly, that there was only one woman. So let me go back and pull that card out while I'm waiting. Oh, I see how we're getting 3 women, okay? So we've got the main woman up here. It's just a little piece of woman holding a cup. And down here is another woman holding a cup with her hair coming in. So there is that for that. You can, all you have to do is help me keep track of who says they want a reading. Here's how we're going to do this. And I'm super strict about one thing. You must say what you, in all caps, okay? Because I'm only going to do 5 readings. I'm going to ask, what does the universe need blank to know? Cameron gets a question if they want one. So that would be an additional to the 5. What you need to say is, in all capital letters, me please. And then we'll know you want a reading. Cameron's simply going to help me keep track of who said me please in order and let y'all know when 5 are up. So I have to make Cameron a moderator. It doesn't, I mean, she can, sorry, Cameron, they can do it regardless, but it's, they don't need to be a moderator. And, okay. So we're going to shuffle this deck up. Let me get in here and actually do some riffle shuffling. I wish I could see when you riffle shuffle these, bling out, baby. So, Anne, you had a question yesterday, too, about what does the universe need you to know. But we're going to go ahead and do this again for you. My preference is, folks, if you've had a reading in the past day or 2, let somebody else get a reading. But I didn't say that, so no worries if you've asked and you already had one. Now, let's see what Cameron needs to know today. Oh, Anne, sorry. Anne, you get the Queen of Cups. And the thing that pops off at me is rising up, going higher, going to the light, taking yourself up, up, up. The Queen of Cups is compassion. She's intuition. She is listening to her sacred self. So there's definitely a piece of listening to your sacred self, sitting quietly with yourself, and giving yourself time to hear. We talk a lot. We pray to God, we pray to Buddha, we pray to Muhammad, we pray to Allah, we pray to Goddess, we pray, 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 pray. How often do we shut the oomph up and listen? How many answers are we getting that we can't hear because we're talking right over deity? So sit quietly with yourself. Find a good half hour at least where you can say, universe, blah, and then shut up and listen. Okay? Let's see who's next. I've got Kelly next. Okay, we've got our 5, but we've got Anne, Kelly, the Hag Reeds, Courtney, and Maharet. Maharet, I'm so glad you're back here. I realized you had asked, and we kind of skipped over you because you hadn't done it in capitals, and I really am sorry. So we're looking at Kelly Morgan next. And what does Kelly need to know right now, universe? What is your message for her today? And we get the 5 of Wands. Remember, when you attack something or go after something or some idea, make sure it's actually dangerous. Make sure there's actually a reason to actively go after something or someone. This, as I said, may or may not be a venomous snake. It doesn't match the red and black and yellow. It doesn't match that. It could be just a simple corn snake. Watch your anger reactions and your spontaneous, instant kind of stuff. We are coming right into, sorry, the cards are mixed up. We are coming into Mercury retrograde. That is a time where we have a tendency to not hear very well. And we don't, it often feels like you're talking to brick walls when you're trying to communicate with people. And it can be super frustrating. So just remember that it's Mercury retrograde when you think, good God, the entire world's gone stupid. That's generally my personal note to look at the calendar, is when I think everybody, including my loved ones, have gone into the stupid pit. Yeah, no, they haven't. It's just that my frustration levels with communication are skyrocketing. Some people don't get affected by Mercury retrograde. There's a theory that if you were born in a retrograde period, it affects you in the same way. Helps Kelly. Reads is next. And I just adore your name. The Hag Reeds. What does the Hag Reeds need to know right now? Well, the Hag Reeds. It is the 10 of Cups. It is the happily ever after. It's about being entangled in emotions and letting yourself take that deep dive into understanding someone else. It doesn't have to be, hey, go fall in love, right? It does not have to be that. It is more of a pay attention to relationships, be more open to your relationships. And maybe somebody has come to you or is coming to you and says, hey, Hag, I want to get to know you, a little better. Try not to run screaming and throw books at them. Try to say, okay, why don't we start with, a cup of coffee, I've got an hour, and put a time limit on it. That's okay. That's okay. And let yourself have some deepening emotions and some happily ever after in your life. If you're writing, it says you're getting to the end of the book, happily ever after, right? Now, okay. And Cameron tells me the Hag is next. I'm just a little ahead of you, Cameron. I'm sorry. It's the lag we've got. Courtney. So, Courtney, what do you need to know right now? What does Courtney need to know right now from the universe? Okay. Again, the ups and downs of the cards are making me reverse them. Hey, Courtney. It's the King of Cups. Look at him putting his fingers in there. Now, if anybody out there watches Killjoys, you'll know why I'm giggling about this card. All it needs is green and not red. But this really is about firing your passion up. I love the fire on his head here because it makes me think about making that connection between spirit and heart and head. You know, the King of Cups has come into his own. He's often a card of Scorpio in my world. So he can be a secret keeper. Somebody may be coming to you with a big, cool, good secret. It could be an icky secret. I'm not gonna say it's not, but I really think it's gonna be good. But the King of Cups is probably yourself. It could be someone else, right? It could be. But I really think it's you, and learning your lessons about compassion and learning your lessons about who to be open to and who not to, right? We all want to be compassionate, loving, wonderful human beings, right? It's a goal. We're joy seekers. We're peace seekers. We want good things to happen. But there's some people out there that don't fit your tribe. They don't fit in your sacred circle. That's okay. It's okay. You know, I can't say that any of you fit in my sacred circle until I've met you and we've sat down and we've worked together. And then we know. You know, you're definitely in my tribe. But so make sure your emotional rings, think of it like a water, and you're the center pebble and all the rings out of you. Those are the rings where people show up. Somebody in the outer ring may be wanting to come in. That's kind of jumbled. I hope it helps some. The heck, right? Short little things. Let's go to the grocery store and you shop in that aisle, I'll shop in this aisle. We'll talk at the end caps. Okay, Maharet is next and number 5. And then Cameron, if you want one, just say me, all caps, and I'll add you in. But Maharet, let's see what your card is for what the universe wants you to know. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. It's a beautiful name. If it's your given name, it's very, very pretty. But Maharet, what is it, Maharet? Lenore? Oh, so you might be the Empress of the Night, maybe, if I'm reading your name correctly. But let's look at Maharet Lenore and see what Her Majesty gets as the universe's advice. Up, down. Okay, up. Maharet, be careful of your ideas. Be careful of your thoughts right now. Don't share a lot of what you want to do or a lot of your, aha, I can. Because there may be other people who would like to take it away from you and steal it for their own. Also, watch your time management. Watch how much energy you're putting into things that just drain you and do not feed you. And this is things like worrying about what somebody else thinks about you, right? Oh God, I don't know how Maharet likes me and doesn't like me, and if she doesn't like me, it's going to be terrible. You know, and then I get mad. Wow, if she doesn't like me, screw her. I've got a saying about you can only control what's in your hula hoop. That's part of what this card is telling me, is that you may be giving too much time and energy to people and things that don't nourish you, people and things that don't feed you. And if they don't, baby, dump them. To get rid of them, get them out of your life. You don't need that, you know. And if it's a case of you not letting them, because that can come up, but I really don't think so in this case. So watch for thought theft and watch for time theft that you're doing to yourself. Now, let's see. Bye, Wolf Angel. Okay, and Cameron said they would like one, so let's do Cameron for the very last one. And I'm pretty excited as to how many people showed up without me going out and telling y'all. So thank you for hitting the subscribe notification button. This is for Cameron. And what do they need to know today from the universe? What is the universe's message for Cameron? Cameron is also a writer and I believe a professional reader. They have the Tarot Parlor, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely, Cameron, if you want to put your link in the chat room, please feel free. So let's take a look and see what Cameron's card is. What does the universe want Cameron to know? Whew! Cameron, you got a lot to do today? we get the Knight of Wands. And this Knight is our action Knight. They're not on the bear, they're beside the bear. They're ready to go, they're ready to attack. They're ready to make things happen using big energy. It just makes me feel tired seeing it. I was trying to make sure I was putting them in the right order again. So action, action, action. Hit your action plan. Feels like maybe you've got a launch in the works. Get that going. This is something that you can absolutely do. You've got the fire behind you, and you've got the fire in your spirit. Let it out. Let other people understand that fire. And again, like I said to Maharet, those that aren't your tribe, screw them. They're not your tribe. If they don't get you and speak to you and associate with you in the way that you need, not your tribe, darling, not your tribe. Okay? And on a side note, I hope to see you at Newt's this year because I will be there. Now, this was my flip through and mini readings with the Ostara Tarot. It's by Schiffer. It's a 2017 deck under their red feather imprint. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And if you want to see all your tarot scopes, click the Patreon link down there and see how you can do that for what I think is a pretty fair price. And I know it's not fair to everybody because, you know, some of us, $1 is hard to find. So I get that. But I know that you'll find that prosperity because I am wishing it all on you. Seek joy, y'all. Pass it on. Did that red button not hit? Y'all, me and this red button.